News Channel 5 on your side presents Kaleidoscope, focusing on people who make a difference in Northeast Ohio communities.
Good morning, everyone, and good to have you on the broadcast today. The Cleveland Browns First and 10 program is celebrating. Director of Community Relations, Jenna Takancic, is here to tell us why the celebration. It's a good story, too. Then Executive Director of Women's Safe Incorporated, the Greenhouse, Andrea Gutka, and Chair of New Beginnings, Seeds of Hope, Karen Capone, are both here to tell us about a fundraiser to benefit Women's Safe Incorporated. And on the broadcast after that, Beryl Gray and Kamika Bruce of the Jamaican Cultural Association of Cleveland will share information about a national conference taking place here in Cleveland. Good morning, everybody. I'm Leon Bibb, and so we beginning with Jenna Takancic, who's Director of Community Relations for your Cleveland Browns. Hi, Jenna.
Good morning, Leon.
Oh, good morning. Good to have you back on the program.
I'm so happy to be here.
Oh,
it's great to see you.
She's one of our regulars around here. Tell me about, first off, tell me about the First and 10 program. Refresh our minds on what First and 10 is for the Cleveland Browns.
First and 10 is the volunteer initiative that was created by the Cleveland Browns, and it was launched 1 year ago in June. And today, this month, we're celebrating the First and 10 1-year anniversary. When we set off with the program, our goal was to inspire 50,000 people to pledge 10 hours of community service. And I'm here to tell you, we reached that goal. We inspired 50,000 people, which equates to 500,000 hours of community service.
In any way that they want to, submit that service or contribute that service.
Exactly. In any way, shape, or form. It's what that young little boy wants to do to help his neighborhood, or what that teacher wants to do to inspire their school, or what that volunteer adult wants to do for a local program or a grassroots organization. It could be anything, but it's really just meant to be meaningful to you, and it's meant to inspire other people. Give 10 hours, pledge to give, share your story through social media using our hashtag Give10, and you will be part of the movement. And
you're wearing a shirt that says hashtag Give10. That's what it's all about, because the Browns are doing that too. So the Browns this is all part of what the Browns do as well.
Exactly. It's a signature program that is authentic to the Cleveland Browns. We are the first in the NFL to have this large-scale volunteer-based initiative. And the shirt I'm wearing today is actually the shirt that was worn by the rookies earlier this month when they made their commitment and they started giving back in the community through the First and 10 platform.
Oh, well, good. Well, I'm glad you're here and glad you're wearing the shirt and telling us all about it. Tell me about this volunteer bike build and other events taking place. Now, what is that?
As part of our First and 10 anniversary, we made the announcement that we're partnering with the Greater Cleveland Sports Commission as our new partner, because they rely on so many volunteers to give back to the local community that it was just natural for them to be among our list of over 10 local nonprofit organizations that are helping Cleveland be better. And we joined them, our rookies. It was their first visit, their first step out into the community to give their 10 hours of community service, and we built 150 bikes for their urban youth initiative. So together we partnered with their young professionals, some volunteers that are core instrumental for the Greater Cleveland Sports Commission. They joined our rookies, and in one day we built 150 bikes that are going to support kids in the City of Cleveland recreation departments.
Cleveland is on a roll in more ways than one, even on the bicycle roll, because of the Browns rookies. When the rookies come in now, you tell them you've got to catch the ball, you got to throw the ball, you got to block, you got to tackle, you got to do all those things, but you also have to be involved in the community.
Exactly. It's so important for the Cleveland Browns. Everything is built around the football. We want to be successful on the football field, but when you're stepping away from your team meeting rooms, or when staff's stepping away from the office, we want you to think about what you can be doing better as a representative of the Cleveland Browns. How can you inspire the dog pound to give more hours of community service? So we all take the pledge within the entire organization, and the players. Last year, Browns players alone volunteered over 900 hours of volunteer service, which is remarkable considering we have a 53-person roster. So it's really, really nice to know that everyone is giving back, and we had players that, this initiative, it's not just part of Cleveland. We have the dog pound is all over. We're around the nation, we're around, globally. And Gary Barnage, actually, he has a program where he went to Turkey, took some of our Browns players with him, and they volunteered to teach the game of football to young kids who otherwise would not have access to the sport. So that's just one thing. We also had Alex Mack, who went over to Afghanistan to visit with our troops to thank them for their service, because their selfless commitment to give back to make our community, our country safer. He wanted to go extend his appreciation through the USO All-Star Tour.
Now, the fans are involved in this, as we're talking about this in our final 2 minutes of our interview here. What are some of the fans doing to volunteer, the volunteer work they're doing in their communities?
That's a great question. I'm glad you asked that. We actually have some recent stories that we had. We have the Browns Fan Fest. That was the inaugural Fan Fest. It was earlier this month. And we had some teens that came and signed up, and they signed our pledge card, and they said that they're going to commit their summer to service. So they're going to find ways in their community to just give back, whatever that means, if it's reading to a child, but they're going to find something to do. But they made that commitment this summer because they have all this free time. All these young kids have this time to do something. Then we have the teachers who are off, on break for the summer. So we had one teacher that said, I'm going to develop a plan. So when school starts, I'm going to have a plan for how my students in my classroom and the entire school can give back. So they filled out our group pledge form. We have a toolkit in the mail that includes these orange wristbands. Pay attention. When you see players, they're wearing this orange wristband with the signature hashtag Give10 to remind, if you're on social media, use that hashtag, and then all the dog pound, no matter where you are. If you're on social media and you're using hashtag Give10, you'll hear some new ideas of what you can do to give back and help your community.
So that's how people can participate in this.
Exactly.
By going to it can get more information on everything we've been talking about.
Yes.
By going to the website too, clevelandbrowns.com/community. You can get more information, or you can go to Twitter, Browns Give Back.
At Browns Give Back, absolutely.
This keeps you going. I mean, this is what you're doing.
It sure does. This is what we do. The Browns have a whole summer of activation that we'll be doing. We have our youth football camps where the rookies, again, they came out to meet some of the young kids that are trying to learn the sport. So they were there playing alongside of them, just having a good old time. And then as we go further into the summer, there'll be other opportunities where we're really engaging, sharing the message of being active, being healthy, and just doing something that could better yourself and your community.
In our final 30 seconds, let's talk a little bit about the Cleveland Browns. I know you're not in on the meetings, and you don't tackle and you don't throw balls and all of that. No. But what are they saying? What are we looking for this season?
We are ready for this season. We are ready to get back, get competitive. We have a great team. Coach Pettin, Ray Farmer, the whole entire organization. They're just really behind the scenes doing great work. And actually, for one day in June, we signed Dylan Sutcliffe, who was a 9-year-old little boy from the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So we all got together. We got him in on some of the plays. And
you signed him up?
We signed him up for a day, and Dylan and his family were remarkable, the most loving family, and the whole Browns organization was able to be part of a really special day.
That's wonderful. Cleveland Browns and the Make-A-Wish Foundation getting together to help that youngster and his family. Okay, many thanks. Jenna Takancic is Director of Community Relations for the Cleveland Browns, talking about the First and 10 program. Good to have you on the broadcast.
Thank you.
Happy first anniversary.
Thank you so much, everyone. If you haven't pledged yet, make sure you do.
Okay, many thanks, Jenna. I'm going to take a break. Coming up on Kaleidoscope next, we're going to talk about supporting victims of domestic violence. I'll take a break, but we'll be back in just a moment. You're in touch with Kaleidoscope. I'm Leon Bibb. Glad to have you with us today. Women's Safe Incorporated, the Greenhouse, provides emergency shelter and support services to survivors of domestic violence in Northeast Ohio. Sunday, June the 28th, Karen Capone of New Beginnings, Seeds of Hope, will host a benefit for Women's Safe. She's here with Women's Safe's Executive Director, Andrea Gutka, to tell us more about the organization and about the fundraiser. Let's begin with Andrea. Good to have you both with us.
Good morning, Leon.
Yeah, Karen and Andrea. First off, tell me a little bit more about Women's Safe, what it is that you do.
Women's Safe is a comprehensive service provider for survivors of domestic violence throughout northeastern Ohio. So whether it be adults, children, whether it be somebody that needs an emergency shelter, they're actually fleeing the violence in their home, or they need some counseling after the violence has ceased. We will meet anybody along their continuum and make sure that they stay safe and that we do that constant safety planning that needs to be lifelong.
Sadly, we have to deal with some issues like that.
Yeah, the happiest day would be when I don't have a job anymore.
Yeah, but because, thank goodness, you are there, and so is Women's Safe. Also, Karen Capone, you're chair of New Beginnings, Seeds of Hope. Tell me a little bit about that now.
Well, it's a fundraising opportunity to bring awareness to domestic violence and awareness to Women's Safe Shelter. It's going to be hosted at XO Prime Stakes, and it's all about just bringing people in, raising funds to help to support the shelter.
Because of the fine work that the shelter does.
Absolutely.
Both your organizations do fine work.
It's all nonprofit, so they rely on people like us to help to do third-party fundraising to help bring awareness and raise those dollars to support these people.
My notes tell me that this event is going to be Sunday, June the 28th.
Correct.
Starting at 5 o'clock at, as you said, at XO Prime Stakes in Pepper Pike, and the address is 29425 Chagrin Boulevard in Pepper Pike.
Correct.
So, yeah. What do you want people to get out of all of this now? What's the takeaway on this?
I think the beautiful part of fundraising is that you can actually put some fun to it, because this is not meant to be a depressing time, or it's a time for everybody to get together and really unite as Women's Safe started. Just unite and grow and educate, and know that at the end of their fundraiser that they can make a difference. They've made a difference. They will save a life that day. They will be able to provide food for our clients even as they relocate into safe housing. They'll be able to help in just a variety of ways. That is why we need third-party fundraisers to truly help us succeed.
To give you some of those supplies and those necessities that the women need. And some of them leave where they've been living on a moment's notice.
Right, just the clothing on their back.
So they need kind of clothing, all kinds of things too. Yeah.
Right.
Tell me about that. That's why you're involved in this.
Yeah, we really are. Women's Safe is such an asset to the community. They help these families go through the programs of sheltering, of counseling, of getting them permanent counseling. They have an art therapy program for the children to be able to express themselves. And we want to celebrate these families and individuals who have gone from a world of domestic violence, like I had as a young child, and to leave that hopefully forever and lead healthy, normal lives again. And there's some wonderful stories that we've heard that come out of the shelters where they can start a new beginning.
They can find a peace in these shelters, and virtually, as you said, a new beginning.
Yes, being that this is a nonprofit organization, we know that the funds have to come from people in the community opening up their hearts and their pockets and giving. And we want to bring the awareness for people to help us to do that.
Tickets still available?
Absolutely.
Yes,
And what
they are.
must people do if they'd like to get a ticket and get in on this event on Sunday, June the 28th? Starts at 5 o'clock at XO Prime Steaks in Pepper Pike, which is 29425 Chagrin Boulevard. What must people do to get in line for those tickets?
They can visit newbeginningsseedsofhope.com or womensafe.org, and you can purchase your tickets right online. Easy, super quick.
Yeah, what's the price on this?
The price per ticket is priced at $100. If you're bringing a group of more, they're $85, so you almost get that last 6 ticket for free.
You've been in this business now for I shouldn't say business, but in this mission for some time.
Yes.
Now. What do you tell people about the need and the necessity for them to be involved with the lives of some of these women who are running for their lives?
Well, I think what's so unique about my experience at Women's Safe has been the opportunity to see people go through the full continuum and be safe. And what I think is really important is to stop the cycle of violence and really focus on the next generation that maybe what they viewed as normal was violence, and they may be viewed speaking to their partner in a derogatory way. And this allows people to know that there's hope, there's help, there's empowerment, and we're essentially the cheerleaders that get to help people win the game.
Okay, and the goal is to win the game, and that's what we all want to do. Let me put a phone number on the screen. Asking it shall be given. You see there's my control room right on it. 888-285-5665. You can get that's your crisis hotline.
24/7.
That's the crisis hotline. And for fundraising and ticket information, you can call 234-380-1449. You can get more information on everything that we've been talking about on the broadcast. Andrea Gutka, who's the Executive Director of Women's Safe Incorporated, The Greenhouse, and Karen Capone, who's Chair of New Beginnings Seeds of Hope. Appreciate you being on the broadcast.
Thank you so much for having us, Leon.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Well, my pleasure. Once again, Sunday, June the 28th, 5 o'clock at XO Prime Steaks in Pepper Pike at 29425 Chagrin Boulevard. That's where it all takes place. And by the way, News Channel 5's Lee Jordan is going to be very much involved because News Channel 5 is a sponsor.
Very excited to have Lee come on board with us.
Lee Jordan will be on board, and she will be a wonderful part of it and give you a good job too.
Right.
Okay, thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much, Leon.
Okay, taking a break. I'll be right back. We're going to talk about a national convention hosted by Cleveland's Jamaican community, but these words come first. Back. Welcome back to more of Kaleidoscope. I'm Leon Bibb. The National Association of Jamaica and Supportive Organizations, or NAJSO, holds its annual convention here in Cleveland in July. The event will be hosted by the locally based Jamaican Cultural Association of Cleveland. Convention co-chair Kamika Bruce is here. She's seated on the right, and a member of the organization, Beryl Gray, is here as well. They will tell us about the mission of each organization and share information about this annual event. Good to have you with us.
Good to be
Gray,
here.
seated
Yes,
next to
yes.
me, and Kamika Bruce, seated on the outside there. Tell me about the mission of the Jamaican Cultural Association of Cleveland. What is it? What does it do?
Well, the Cultural Association of Cleveland is an organization which was formed 5 years ago. And what the organization founder wanted to do was to give back to the community. And as a whole, it became a 501c3 about 2 years ago. And decided to do a lot of volunteering. We do a lot of volunteering with the Cleveland Food Bank. We also contribute to the Red Cross. We also give to the City Mission. And we have a thing that we do with clipping coupons for troops.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
So they can get a deal on some of the things that they
yes,
may
because
need to
we were
buy.
told that the president, Mrs. Obama, said that we could clip coupons and send it to the troops, because within 6 months or something like that, they can actually reuse those coupons.
I was once a soldier. I was
Yes.
once a soldier in the United States Army, and believe me, those kinds of things really go a long way. It really helps our men and women in uniform. You've got a convention coming up here in the month of July for the National Association of Jamaican and Supportive Organizations. Tell me about this convention.
It's going to be from July 16th to the 18th. It's going to be held at Marriott East Hotel on Harvard and Richmond in Warrensville Heights. We're going to have basically a lot of Jamaican groups from all over the country, and Jamaica as well, at Bermuda, who supports our mission, going to come in and be here for the convention.
And what are some of the activities that you've got planned?
We're going to have a trade expo. We will have vendors. We will have seminars, workshops on health, education, of course, tourism. We'll have a group of young professionals as well. We are bringing the minister, Jamaica's Minister of Health. He's the 11th minister, so he will be here. He will be our keynote speaker. And we're also bringing Mr. Earl Jarrett. He's the manager of Jamaican National Building Society, so we are bringing those people here.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to have
a lot of fun.
Good friendships, good food, no doubt.
Oh, yes, great food, of course, yes.
And it's going to be Thursday, July the 16th through Saturday, July the 18th.
Correct,
at the Marriott East. That's on Harvard Road in Warrensville, right there at I-271.
Right, across from Rouge, and yes.
You can't miss it. biggest building at that intersection of Harvard Road and I-271 in Warrensville. What's the mission of the NAJSO? Am I pronouncing it correct, or is it
NAJSO?
NAJSO?
Yes.
What's the mission?
The mission they've been in existence for 37 years. And some of the things that they've accomplished over the years, back in 1988 when they had Hurricane Gilbert, they were able to collect a lot of funds from the organizations all over the United States and help to rebuild Jamaica as a whole. The other part of it, they have an educational fund where they actually have students at the University of the West Indies that are paid for through the national organization. As a matter of fact, I think one of the students will be here as a guest speaker on the day of the convention that we have sponsored and paid for during at the University of the West Indies. So,
well, I'm impressed with what you're doing, and certainly impressed that you've got one of the officials from the Jamaican government, the Minister of Health, coming in. So that says a great deal. You keep ties, although you're in this country, keep ties to the motherland, to Jamaica.
That's home.
Yes, that's home.
That's home.
As people from all over Northeast Ohio, or all over America, have ties to perhaps their ancestral homes.
Right.
Why do you find that is vital in our lives?
It keeps you grounded. It keeps you sane, and it makes you remember, where you're coming from. Especially for myself, I came here in mid-teens, and through high school, so keeping that connection back home it just keeps me sane.
Yeah, and we all need that. We all need that.
Also, it helps us to understand that our culture as a whole, even though you're in this country, a lot of times we come here and we're into culture shock, okay?
Right.
But when you think of your homeland, it brings you back to the reality of saying, well, let's just really do something for our homeland. Yeah.
And that's exactly what you're doing, doing
Yes.
something for the homeland and
Yes.
celebrating
Yes.
ethnicity and
Yeah.
celebrating the homeland.
Yeah.
Let me put a phone number on the screen if we've not already done so. You can get more information on this, everything we're talking about, 216-381-1273 or 216-401-0661. And there's a website, najaso.org or jcacleveland.org. And once again, it's going to be Thursday, July the 16th through Saturday, July the 18th at the Marriott East on Harvard Road and I-271. Going to be a wonderful event. We appreciate you being on the broadcast.
It's going to be a fabulous event.
Yeah. Beryl Gray, who's a member of the Jamaican Cultural Association of Cleveland, and Kamika Bruce, who's convention co-chair of the Jamaican Cultural Association of Cleveland. Good to have you on the broadcast.
Thank you
so much. Thank you.
Okay. I'll take a break in just a moment. Up next, Marsha Maccabee of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, who has some thoughts. I'll be back about this. Now here's Marsha Maccabee of the Urban League. Always got something on her mind.
I know, Leon, and sometimes I think there's not enough mind for all the things I have on it.
Well, been there, done that.
You know, but today I just want to take a moment and really acknowledge Father's Day and really acknowledge all the wonderful fathers out there who are in our audience and those who have had an influence on our lives who may not even be with us anymore. Father has a very special role in the family and in our legacy and in our tradition. Fathers have contributed so much over the years. I just want to, you know, take time out to recognize our dads today.
I know you and I have talked privately about this many, many times, and you have had nothing but praise about your father who helped guide your life when you were coming along.
Absolutely. And I tell people that I really attribute the relationship that I had with my father to having a long-term marriage, because he taught me how to be in a relationship, a friend, a guide. He taught me how to be in a relationship with a man.
Yeah.
So.
My father is gone now, Leon Bibb Sr., and he was quite a fellow. He was quite a guy. And he would always tell me, now, Leon, we don't do that in our family. Now, you've got to come over here and do the right thing.
I know that's right.
And I was 35 years old.
Because you're representing the Bibb family,
I was
right?
15 years old when he was talking to me like that. But he helped raise me. He and Mother really worked together to give me a good life. Okay. Good to have you on the broadcast.
Absolutely. Good to be here always.
You're my friend. We're going to say so long. Thank you, everybody, and happy Father's Day.
This has been a presentation of News Channel 5's Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland.